everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I'm here to talk to you about my Sew Over It, the capsule wardrobe, work to weekend ebook. This is the first pattern I'm showing you, actually the second one I've made, but the Edie top. I've done the top version, and this is the one that I've refashioned from a men's extra large merino wool sweater. And I will say it is warm here today in Indiana, and I am sweating bullets sitting here talking to you in this, and it's still early. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, I've done a little, not really tutorial. This is so easy. I basically use the men's sweater as fabric. I did save a few of the details, which I will kind of talk to you about here in just a second. But for the most part, I used it as fabric. So I'm doing a little bit. We're gonna try something. If you don't like it, that's fine. I'll try and do it a little differently for any future tutorials. But for today, I'm just gonna kind of do it kind of a time lapse of me making the sweater. It literally took me maybe an hour tops to do everything, and that was including the time that it took to video it all. But anyway, I'm gonna just kind of do a time lapse with music and then insert little titles as I go along to kind of explain what my thumbs up and what my no hand means. To decipher that for you. So anyway, I will show that here at the end of the clip, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the pattern. Guys, this is super easy. I will put a picture here right now of the before, of me in the before. Remember, I am 5'2", and so this sweater clearly swamped me. But I would like to talk a little bit about fitting real quick. So I am very narrow in the shoulders, like the smallest pattern size usually in the shoulders. But I am not that way any other parts of my body. My bust typically runs in like, even my upper bust. My upper bust usually puts me in like a US size 12 or usually about a US size or a pattern size 12, the US 12. And then I usually have to do a full bust adjustment to compensate for my chest. So for reference, I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet, but here we go. And in all honesty and truth and yada yada, my upper bust is a 37 and my full bust is a 41. So I have a 4-inch difference between my upper bust and full bust, which always necessitates a full bust adjustment. My waist is a 33 and my hips are a 39. So I'm very straight from my waist to my hips. Anyway, those are kind of the fit issues that I'm dealing with. So anyway, normally I do a narrow shoulder adjustment for any pattern in the shoulders so that it fits me properly and the shoulders isn't hanging like clear off my arms in order for me to make the body. But I've noticed with anything with a wide neck, such as the Edie, it kind of has that slashed neckline, that if I do that, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with a narrow shoulder adjustment, but you're basically just bringing the shoulder in, and usually I have to bring it in about 1 inch. I just trace the arm's eye for the side I need, and then I just scoot it over 1 inch, kind of rotate it, which usually brings the armhole up, which is usually just a little bit tight. Like it'll bring the armhole up sometimes like 3/4 of an inch, which then puts it really high up into my armpit, which is sometimes a little uncomfortable. But I've noticed with these slash necks, when I do that sometimes, it leaves very little room for your shoulder seam, number one. And number two, because my neck is in further, I'm constantly, these are falling off my shoulders, a bra strap's hanging out or whatever. So I did it a little differently. This time I did the size 8 in the neckline, and I did the same thing where I traced my arm's eye for the 14, and then I just moved that traced edge down to the size 8 at the shoulder, and then kind of rotated the bottom until it hit the size 14 at the side seam, and then drew that in, because then it will still, your sleeve will still fit in. So it seems to have worked. It was kind of a trial to see if that would maybe be an easier way for me to do a narrow shoulder adjustment, and I love it. My bra straps are not hanging out. I feel like this is exactly how it's supposed to fit in this section of my body, and it's still, I have plenty of room. It did lower my arm's eye a little bit when I did it that way, but again, like I don't feel like it's too much. I feel like I've got enough room. So if anyone would like a more in-depth, if you didn't understand my rambling, and in-depth, like maybe me showing you actually, if you're more visual, which I actually am, how to do that, just let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to do kind of a quick little sample of how I do that narrow shoulder adjustment if anyone else struggles with the same fit issue. But back to the sweater, you'll see that I cut the original cuffs off the sweater and I just reattached them to the bottom. I didn't change anything about the sleeve pattern. I just reattached them, which makes them a little longer, a little more, well, not really full length. It's almost like bracelet length, but I always yank my sleeves up, so it will hit more like 3/4 length is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I love that little detail. I love leaving that little bit. And also when you'll notice when I was cutting it out, I left the hemband on. So I still have, sorry about the stomach there, I still have the original knitted on hemband on there. Now, when you're folding your cut pieces in half, you will notice that the bottom pulls in a lot, which is what it's supposed to do. That knitted ribbed band on the bottom that's been knitted onto the sweater, that's what it's supposed to do, draw in there at the bottom. So I really just make sure my side seams lined up, and I just line up that fold on the pattern piece with the fold at the upper kind of part, and then just make sure my hem matches up with the bottom of the ribbing. So I don't worry about the fact that there at the bottom it pulls away from that cut on fold line, because it'll all come out in the wash at the end anyway. So anyway, I am super impressed. I love this top. I will probably make a few more. Like I said, I have a pile of sweaters down there. It's really hot today, but I think I like the slash neckline on me. It's kind of a little different now that I've kind of figured out a way to do it so it's not falling off my shoulders and exposing too much bra strap. So I might do that with a few more. Turn a couple of them into some turtlenecks for the fall and winter, and maybe a couple into more Edie tops. And if I have a big enough one, there's even the possibility that I could turn one into a dress. It would be a short dress, but maybe with tights that it wouldn't even matter. So stay tuned for that. We'll see. We'll see. That might actually happen. Okay, so that is kind of it for today. This is the second piece that I've made now for my Sew Over It capsule that I'm putting together that I kind of talked about at the beginning of September. You haven't seen the first one yet. It's the Dana top I did in the bird rayon, and I have gotten that made up. So I still have 3 more left to do. And I'm on a bit of a time crunch. I'm headed out of town at the beginning of October. So hopefully this, the whole capsule will go up maybe before I leave, but maybe it'll be after I come back, because I've had some requests for a tutorial on how to line both the pants and the trench coat. So that's going to take a little bit of time to film too, probably. But anyway, before I say goodbye and send you over to the actual tutorial, I just want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. Lisa Kish over at And So On highlighted the vlog over on her vlog yesterday, I guess, and I'm so appreciative. I'm so excited. We've got more of us joining into the conversation, and I'm just so happy to have you all here. So if you haven't yet, please hit subscribe or and hit the like button. That really helps me out and helps others find us so we can do more fun and exciting things. I think next video, probably next week, I have made up the Closet Case Amy jumpsuit in a silk, and it's pretty amazing. It's just like wearing nothing, really, when it comes down to it. It's so light and breezy. But I'm going to do probably a video next week reviewing that pattern a little bit, and then also kind of just some ways to style it for fall, because I am going to style it for a couple of weddings that I'm attending this fall. So watch out for that next week. And again, if you subscribe, you're not going to miss out on the fun and excitement. So until then, happy sewing. And I hope you enjoy the tutorial. And again, leave comments if there's anything you liked, didn't like about it. My feelings won't be hurt. It just helps constructive criticism to maybe do something a little different next time. I want these to be good. I want you to be able to actually get something out of them. So leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Bye.